So yesterday I was laid off for my job, my very cushy, very nice trucking job. And that's all good. I got two interviews. I'm on my way to one right now. They're both better paying jobs. One of them is even closer to my house. But that's actually not what I want to talk about. Yesterday, while I was on that phone call, one of the drivers that was getting laid off, he said, "Hey guys, so you request a 2 weeks notice from us when we're going to leave. In fact, last year I did give you a 2 weeks notice. I decided to leave. I found a better job and I put in my 2 weeks and you guys talked me out of it. You said, no, we're going to give you a raise, which you did. But I would be in a much better job right now. But you can't be bothered to give us a 2 weeks notice. Hey, you're about to lose your income. We have to give you, a multi-billion-dollar company, 2 weeks to find our replacement. But you can't be bothered to give us the same courtesy." The boss said, "This is not a decision leadership makes lightly." And the driver said, "That's not what I'm asking you." Then he said, "There's not much more I can tell you. I'm sorry things are the way they are." And that was that. Let this be a reminder that you can be as loyal as a dog to a company. And when they decide to let go of you for whatever reason, they're moving on. And there's nothing you can do about that. And also, we're done giving 2 weeks notices. Courtesy is a two-way street. And if I can't expect that from you, don't expect it from me. Have a great one.
I got laid off today. And the entire time I'm just like, in my mind, I'm like, this is all a part of God's plan. This is all a part of God's plan. Like, yeah, it's sad, yeah, but it's also like, I can't be sad if it's God's plan. Like, it's written already. This is just a part of God's plan. And I have to accept that. And I did accept it. I was just like, you know what? No tears. Like, I haven't cried because there's nothing to cry about. Like, this ain't the first time I've had to face something like this. But I think what's different between now and those other times is I'm equipped to deal with it, you know, mentally, emotionally, spiritually. My faith is built for it, tough babes. There's no breaking me down. And honestly, I like this energy. Like, I call it the sink or swim energy, where it's like you're either going to sink and be sad, or you're going to swim and flourish. And I'm a swim and flourish type of girl. So I like this energy because it always pulls out like this monster in me, like this hella driven, hella focused, hella disciplined. Like, I only see the finish line version of me, and I love it. I'm excited. I really am. I'm excited to see where this next step is going to take me. And I'm excited to share the process with you guys. Honestly, like, I share everything else with y'all, so might as well share this part too. That's the life update. I got laid off, but now I'm a full-time content creator, and that's my dream. So let's just fucking do it.
This week didn't start how I expected. I got laid off from my fashion design job because of the economy. But honestly, I knew I had two choices: stay stuck or step up. I choose to move forward, to show up for myself, because no job or title gets to decide my direction. I do. Every rep, every breath, it's me building something stronger. Not just my body, but my mindset. This is a new beginning. I'm not starting over. I'm starting better. And I'm just getting started.
I busted my ass and I was just laid off. These companies do not care about us. They want us to give us a 2-week notice, but yet can just fire us and ruin our lives on the spot any day that they choose. I have a 2-year-old son, no savings, which is my fault, and it doesn't fucking matter. So now I have to go back on the job hunt, and I have to get a work from home job because I have a 2-year-old that I have to take care of. Can't afford daycare. Rent is $2,500 where I live. Now I gotta find out how to pay off my lease early, because there's no way that we could afford to live here. I don't even have a computer. They just locked me out of my computer. You know, I really thought that the culture at my job was great, the best that it's ever been. And for them to just lay me off, not even based off of performance, because my manager just shouted me out today, saying I'm doing a great job, and then fired me.
Investors often like to call McDonald's recession-proof because McDonald's has made it through every recession, every economic downturn in America, and come out glowingly. Usually their sales spike during these times. Well, McDonald's is down 3.6%. That's numbers we already have. And if it's down for another quarter, you can expect the fast food industry to start making major cuts as a whole. The CEO of Chipotle has already said that every economic class that shops at his store is pulling back. So whether you make 30 grand or whether you make 300 grand, you're not shopping as much as you used to. obviously with the middle class being the majority of that. But with the job cuts we've already seen, I think fast food is up next, and God knows what that's going to do. I don't think anybody realizes how many people fast food employs in the United States. And we have tech layoffs that are coming too. I would go look up and see what the CEO of Uber said recently. That I need you back in the office 3 days a week, and if you don't like it, there's a robust job market waiting for you. Which, I mean, that's just a threat to anybody. But some pain is a coming.
Sad to say, your role's been eliminated, and your last day will be April 11th.
Okay. Well, I am sad to hear that. It's been a pleasure working with you guys. I definitely learned a lot. I'm sad to hear that though.
I know. This is something I've been hoping that our team, since we're so small, that we could avoid. But leadership has just been pushing on this and kind of forced us into this action here.
Okay.
It's nothing personal. Everyone likes you. You're always friendly. You've got a good attitude. But at the end of the day, it's tough. I didn't expect this. When we offered you the role, had no idea how things would kind of turn with the new CEO, new CIO, and of course the new administration making changes.
Right.
And this is pretty shocking.
Yeah.
Take some time. Hope that you just continue to do what you're doing and keep working for the next couple of weeks and end on a good note, and we can be references for you. Wish you the best, and if there's anything either of us can do, let us know.
Okay, I will for sure. Like I said, it's been a pleasure working with you guys, and thanks for the feedback and things like that. If I have any questions, I'll definitely reach out to you guys.
Okay. Thanks, Sierra. Feel free to take a little time or long lunch, whatever. Just think things over.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. Sorry. Bye.
I just got laid off about an hour ago. I cried for a while, and I think the hardest part about it is I loved my job. I cared so much, but like knowing that you put your full effort towards something and then feeling like they decided it wasn't enough or it wasn't worth enough. Like right now, I feel just very like not even undervalued, because I clearly am not valued, but like that all of my effort wasn't good enough, or it wasn't important, or it wasn't relevant. I got laid off today, and it's just, I don't know. And LA is burning and their fires are everywhere, and I got laid off and I don't have a job. So like in perspective, it's not that big of a deal. There's other jobs, but it goes so much deeper than not having a job. So yeah, I don't know. I'm jobless.
And this time, it seems like it's actually the PMs and managers that are in danger. Microsoft is cutting around 6,000 employees, and this is the biggest round of layoffs in the last 2 years. Apparently, they're claiming that these new job cuts are not related to performance, but this is pretty hard to believe, especially when they're hiring like crazy and performance review cycles have just been completed. Instead, these layoffs seem to target non-coders, aiming to increase the number of coders per project, which Microsoft internally calls its PM ratio. For example, Microsoft's security boss currently has 5.5 engineers for 1 PM, but his goal is to reach a ratio where it's 10 engineers to 1 PM. Overall, you can kind of guess what these cuts are for, and it's investments in AI. In 2012 to 2022, Microsoft grew its headcount by over 10%, and Google actually grew it by 14%. But since 2022, with the launch of ChatGPT and more AI, it stayed flat. It should be quite interesting to see how these other tech companies follow suit, and unfortunately which roles get attacked next.
I saw that Intel made a recent announcement that they were doing a RIF, a reduction in force, of about 20% of its workforce. Its workforce is 109,000 people, in-person staff, so that is roughly 21,000 jobs. I also saw that UPS plans to cut about 20,000 employees. I know this is kind of old news, but That's going to be one of the largest in U.S. history. So then I decided to hop over to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics to see where we're standing so far this year. It looks like 1.8 million people were laid off or discharged in February 2025 alone. That brings us to 3.5 million layoffs and discharges in 2025 so far. That's pretty big. So far, just January and February is what the data has been reported. Layoffs and discharges total 3.5 million, and that is 2.7% higher than the same period in 2024. In February 25, that data that I had given, so the 1.5 million, that looks like that stands for about 1.1% of all employed people. That's huge. So when I dig a little bit deeper, the layoff and discharge rate was highest in the professional services industry in February. Second to that was construction, and then information, leisure and hospitality, retail, trade, transportation and utilities, manufacturing, wholesale trade, financial activities, education and health services, mining and logging, and then government. So again, a lot of us think that all of this is happening in the government sector right now, but it's not. It's happening a ton in the private and public sector as well. And so just something to think about. And if you're an employer and you're thinking about doing this, I come alongside organizations and help them determine who should be RIFed and at what frequency, and make sure that it's set up appropriately so that you're legally protected, and then employees that are impacted are taken care of. So reach out. I've got an HR firm, Salt and Light Advisors, and we're happy to help.
Happy Monday. Just got fired. Holy shit. I thought it was just like a normal routine meeting. And no, it was actually we're not moving forward with your employment. And you know what's so funny is like when you think that you finally find like a good job and like a company that cares about you, you're like, oh my god, I actually work for people that care. No, you don't. That was like the only stable thing that I had going on in my life right now. Whew, I was not expecting that. I would have never put money down on that happening. I literally just thought that was going to be a meeting. Happy Monday.
Hi, my name is Melissa, and I have recently been laid off, like so many people have in this economy. And like so many people in this economy, I have opened an Etsy shop. I'm coming out here on TikTok to speak to my friends, anybody else who happens to get this on your For You page, to say, hey, would you like to come out and see my stuff? There's not much out there, to be perfectly honest. It's just a few things. I wanted to gauge people's interest and to see or to hear back from people giving me creative criticism, telling me what works, what doesn't work, because I honestly need that. I was at my job for a long time, so I'm still trying to puzzle my way through this new reality that I'm facing. And yeah. The name of the shop is Cat's Eerie, and I'm going to put it up in my bio on my TikTok page. But if you would like to come out and check it out, please do so. And just let me know what you think. And just send me a message, send me a DM. I'm trying to get better at responding to people. Like I said, I don't like talking very much. I'm a very quiet person, and so doing something like this is truly outside of my wheelhouse. But please, again, check out the Etsy shop, send me messages, whatever, hi. But yeah, I will see y'all on the flip side.
I've been trying to wait on a moment to like pull myself together to process what I'm feeling. I was laid off from my job today. I was I can't say that I was surprised because we had a few people laid off on yesterday, and I knew in my spirit that it wasn't over. I knew that they weren't done. I was the last person that they laid off. Like, I'm not necessarily crying because, you know, I lost my job, but it's, you know, you build friendships, you build, these people become family, and, you know, it's normal, it's natural to worry about the unknown. And my family's already in a way financially where my husband and I have been doing the best that we can to provide not only their needs, but, you know, their wants. And God has made that possible. And I know that this has to be a God thing. Even if it's not a good thing right now, it has to be a God thing. Because I have nothing else lined up. I have no other prospects. Before yesterday, I wasn't expecting to lose my job. I was making plans for this year concerning my job and my life, and I wasn't expecting to lose my job before yesterday. And I'm like, Lord, I know if my name came up that you have a plan for me and my family. So I don't know what that plan is, but I know my requirement is to stand. Even though I don't know the answers, I don't know what's going to happen, I have to stand. Stand on the word of God. Stand on Romans 8:28. Stand on Jeremiah 29:11. Stand on Philippians 4:13. Also stand on Philippians 4:12. And I have to know that God is still worthy to be praised, even in trouble. This is just a new way of trusting Him, because I don't have a job for the provisions. That's not to say I'm not going to look for something, but I'm putting my trust in God because this is out of my hands. And I don't know what our future is going to look like. I don't know. But what I am sure of is that God won't see us hungry, homeless, or go without. So y'all just pray for me. Pray for my family. And I'll keep y'all posted.
So y'all, I just got laid off today, and I was shocked, but I'm not sad. I'm not sad at all, because I actually been praying about what I should do, because I have a lot of aspirations and goals. But you know, it's hard to step out there on faith and leave guaranteed consistent money. But here we are. Here we are. I ain't got no choice but to do it. So you know, I'm definitely looking forward to what life has for me. Thankfully I did save a little money, so you know, I'll be good there for a while. And before, you know, hopefully I'll be monetized on TikTok or something. You know, I think at first I was very conflicted, because how am I happy and sad at the same time? You know, I think I'm more so sad about leaving my colleagues than losing my job. But it all works out. You know, sometimes God pushes you and gives you stuff sooner than you expected. And it's so crazy because anybody who knows my aspirations, when I called them and told them I got laid off, they told me congratulations. Because they know that my job has kind of been a hindrance and has been limiting me from pouring 100% into the other things that I want to do and that I'm capable of doing for myself. So, even though I just got laid off today, I'm finna go have a celebratory dinner with my best friend. Hey, because good things are coming. I'm claiming it now. Amen. Okay, anyway, y'all have a good day.
Hello, my name is Jacqueline, and I was just laid off in a mass Zoom meeting. So if it looks like I'm not okay, it's because I am not okay. One thing about working in tech is that it is not for the weak, and you watch these layoffs happen all the time. And each time you continually tell yourself, it ain't me, thank God. Well, guess what? It was me this time. I am a 30-year-old with 2 master's degrees, an undergraduate degree, all in marketing. And now I am unemployed and continuing to post on TikTok. I knew my company was having struggles. We couldn't push our pipeline down from top of funnel to any closed one. So I would say it was a surprise that they were doing a restructuring, but it absolutely was not. What was a surprise is that I was told that I was okay, and I was absolutely blindsided this morning at 11 a.m. with a 10-minute meeting on my calendar where people in the higher executive crew that I've never met before told a group of 15 of us or so, while another group of 15 was meeting with other people, that we were all laid off from the company. This is nothing new. You've seen many of people on this app post about being laid off. So now I'm just joining those masses instead of the other masses that are continuing to work. However, I will have very different things to be thankful for this Thanksgiving season. So my content on here might be a little depressing for a day or so, or it's just going to be completely manic. I'm not entirely sure. Haven't decided yet. I'm waiting for a phone call from HR to tell me if there is any form of severance package. And you bet your ass I'm going to fight for one. Probably not, because I'm literally scared of people, and I probably won't. But when I talk to my phone, I act like I'm a hard ass, but I'm not. Yeah. So I'm hashtag open to work, kind of, sort of. Need to update that resume. But I guess I'll have a lot more free time to be posting on here.
So I think I might get fired. I've been working at this company for 5 years now, and it's been my first job that I've had out of college. And I just got a TV put on my calendar for 15 minutes with HR and a VP. I guess we'll see what happens. Got fired. Great.
Y'all, my corporate job just fired me. I went in today all nicely dressed like I am, and they sat me down and told me they were letting me go. After 6 years at this company, I am no longer there. And you know what? I'm not even upset. Is that bad? Is that bad not to feel upset about the situation? Like, I've been getting questions from family, and they're like, how do you feel? And my response to them has literally been, I feel free. The reason, before y'all even get, to thinking that it was because of something that I posted on here, it was not. It was because of budget cuts. And not only was I let go, but others were too. So yeah, that was still surprising to me. I mean, I immediately asked in my, exit, just want to make sure that this is not about performance. And they clarified, this is not about your performance. This is solely based on, us not getting the grants and these things that we thought we were getting, and us having to cut back. And so I had to write it all down as they were talking, because I had to make sure, what after 6 years? I know God has a plan for me. I've been blessed with almost 18,000 of you on this platform, and I am so thankful. I hope they never take this platform away, because I am so thankful for you all. And just know that it's about to come. Like, when y'all see me, just know. Just know. It's because, baby, that job let her go. I'm going to have more for y'all. I don't have much now. I'm still kind of in shock, but not upset. feel like God puts you in certain positions in your life. He makes you do stuff that you wouldn't do. Like, I would have never put myself in this position to be even a little bit uncomfortable, but he did that for me. I just know there's something big coming. I know there's something big. So y'all gonna see a lot more of me. So get ready, and please share these videos with a friend. Please send the links to a friend. Tell them to come follow your girl, because we got so much coming. I'm gonna be sharing everything. I'm gonna be sharing corporate stuff. I'm gonna be sharing Ash still show up for y'all as if, you know, nothing has changed. So don't get it twisted. We're still here and we're about to grind this out.
Who got laid off yesterday? It's been a wild ride. So on Tuesday night, everybody in the company got a message from our chief human resources officer basically saying, there's an all hands tomorrow, please make sure you attend. And of course I knew, like, last minute all hands, never a good sign. This is not my first rodeo, so I definitely had anticipated something like this happening. There have been whispers about potential layoffs for the last month and a half, so I had already started applying. Anyway, we get onto the town hall and the CEO spoke for about 3 minutes, pretty much saying, due to regulatory changes and different needs moving forward in the business, there will be a restructuring, blah, 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 blah. You're either going to get an email to your personal email address with a separation agreement, or you're going to get an email to your work email indicating you still have a job. I was like, what kind of awful reality TV show is this right now? And sure enough, a few minutes later, my Slack gets kicked out. So I knew that I had been laid off, and I was extremely frustrated, hurt, upset yesterday. But today I'm in like a much better headspace. It was aggravating because I was the first product manager to join the team. I had built a lot of our products from the ground up. I worked really hard. Not to say I was perfect, nobody is, but I always tried to go above and beyond. I always tried to be strategic and think from the mindset of our customers, really trying to build amazing products. And I was there for about 1.5 years. And it didn't matter, you know, and I think it's just a reminder that it doesn't matter sometimes how hard you work, how talented you are, how much of your life you sacrifice for a company, how loyal you are, whatever. Like, at the end of the day, the company is going to make the decision that is the most beneficial for them. They ended up laying off about 200 plus people. I think it ended up being about 35% of our total employees, so many of whom were really smart, really talented, very hardworking. And yeah, it's just a reminder that you always have to put yourself first. I think it can be really easy to put your mental, physical health to the side, and also sacrifice your morals, your ethics, whatever, for the sake of a paycheck, for the sake of stability, for the sake of feeling productive. And that is the worst thing you can do. For the first 8 months at my job, I was really happy. I thought it was the best job I'd ever had. I had an amazing set of coworkers. And I was really passionate about what I was doing. And then the last 3 to 4 months or so just got progressively more toxic. There were changes in leadership. Lots of people got fired, and just a lot of strategic and ethical decisions that were made that I didn't agree with. But obviously, I wanted to be stable and continue on and work hard. And at the end of the day, it didn't matter. So this is not my first rodeo. Like I said, I've been laid off before. And I think it's a reminder that we have to put ourselves first always. It's so easy to get lost in your job and to think like, oh, I just need to work harder. I just need to, I'm never going to take PTO. I'm never going to take a sick day. I'm never going to say no. Like, basically to let a company steamroll over our own boundaries. I can't even tell you how many people I had seen in Slack who were sending messages while they were on vacation or while they were supposed to be sick. Like, oh yeah, I'm out today, but it's okay, I'll still be responding. Like, no, take your day off, take your vacation, take your sick days, because when push comes to shove, you are going to be cut just like everybody else. They're not going to say, oh, well, Ariana never took a sick day, we're not going to lay her off. Like, it doesn't matter, truly. It's purely a numbers game. And I think we always have to remember what is like most important to us. And it's not our jobs for most of us. It shouldn't be anyway, unless it's maybe your own company and you're a majority shareholder or something like that. Always put yourself first. Always take care of your mental and physical health, because it's not worth it. I really just wanted to come on here and talk about it because I think it's easy to only talk about like the highlight reel on social media. And I just want to remind you, if you're going through a layoff or worried about getting laid off or just in a rough spot with your job, like, life goes on. You're going to find something amazing, and your job is not your entire life. So I'm excited about what's next. I feel optimistic. I have some interviews lined up, and I'm just trying to reset myself and focus on the future.
Let me begin by saying we hoped we wouldn't be in this position again. Yet we are, and we deeply regret the impact this decision may have on you. For that, I am truly very sorry. This decision is not a reflection on you as individuals. I also want to say you've been tremendous team members, colleagues, and friends to me and so many others. We are here to support you personally and professionally as you navigate next steps. We will begin deactivating all systems access at this time. This time I'll end the call.
And that's it. And they turned everything on.
I never thought this would happen to me. I had a great job. I worked hard. I did everything I was supposed to do. But after 17 years in corporate, I was laid off. At first, I felt free. I knew I was unhappy and thought that maybe this was the break that I finally needed. But within a week, the panic set in. We needed the income, but what I really wanted was time back with our son. I didn't want to keep rushing out the door every morning and begging for time to slow down and just watching it all fly by. I wanted to actually be there. If you're new here, I'm Lauren. I'm a mom to an energetic toddler boy, a wife to an amazing husband, and someone who spent years trying to find a real way to make money online. I did the MLMs, I did the reviews, I did the surveys, I did the affiliate links, but none of it ever equaled my corporate salary. But then I found a digital marketing program that changed everything. It comes with a simple, proven system with training and mentorship and the ability to work 2 hours a day and average 900 a day. I was finally able to start building something for my family, not for someone else's. If you're craving more time, more money, and a life where you call the shots, drop ready in the comments and I'll send you all the info, because you don't have to stay stuck anymore and I want to help you break free.
I come to you with horrible news. I wish this was clickbait. I wish this was a joke, but it is in fact true, and it is my life. I was laid off this morning. I was laid off this morning. And you may be asking yourself, oh my God, that timing is really bad considering you just moved into a new apartment and that you were living with your parents and not paying any rent while you were living there. And now you are, and now you don't have a job. And you may also be asking yourself, are you stressed out about it? Yes, I definitely am. And you may also be asking yourself, are you gonna apply to jobs? Like, what are you literally gonna do? Yes, I am applying to jobs at a rapid pace, a pace that's never been done before. So, and I also come to you and I say, if you know of one, if you know of a job, that'd be cool. And I'd do it probably. I'd do it so good. Specifically in social media or brand marketing. Brand marketing specialist was my previous title that I no longer hold. And I have a lot of experience in social media management. My DMs have never been more open. So please feel free to shoot me a DM if you have any leads, and I'll definitely apply. Thank you so much for listening to this message. Things were going suspiciously good for me. I will say things were going suspiciously good. And now this is kind of mixing things up a little bit. I was wondering how the plot was going to continue, and this is amazing. On another vein, if you have something and you'd like me to make an ad for it, I'm definitely open to that as well. So, let me know what you're thinking. Let me know what you're thinking, and I'm here for that, for sure.
I got laid off today after 10 years at the most amazing company. I didn't think it would happen, but I kind of thought it would happen at some point. I got the email. Your role has been impacted. And today, let me tell you, has been a whirlwind of emotion. And I think that a lot of people, when they get laid off, they're sad, they're angry, it is what it is. To me, this is just another sign that God has always had my back and that there are more blessings coming. And I wasn't even going to post this because, there's a lot of haters out there I need to put my evil eye on. But I'm just so thankful. So if I've ever worked with you or this comes across your page and you were my client at one point, thank you. Drop in the comments a memory of working with me. And if you know of anyone that's hiring, holler at your girl. I think I'm going to document this journey. Okay, love y'all.
I just got let go from my job as part of organizational shifts and return to office. As you guys know, I have been a remote employee for the past 5 years, really since the beginning of the pandemic. And I'm crying not because I'm sad that I got let go. Obviously, the instability of losing an income always sucks. What sucks most about being let go is somebody taking control out of your hands. I always preach internally and here at home that we have got to be the people in the driving seat of our futures, of our careers. And when a company takes that control out of your hands, it sucks because all of a sudden the plan that you had, the roadmap that you were on board for is gone. Now you've got to start over. And this is why you've always got to have a plan B, a plan C, and most importantly, an emergency fund. I am incredibly upset and frustrated. There have been several shifts in the company in this last couple of months that I just knew the writing was on the wall and I knew my time was coming. But the fact that we have an emergency fund, because ultimately that is what matters at the end of the day, is that we have money to pay our mortgage, to pay for our daycare. We have that as a fallback, and I can take time, maybe a week, to just collect my thoughts and put together a strategy for job hunting. Always be prepared for the unexpected, because ultimately companies will always put themselves first. And as much as you want to believe that you're part of the family, you like the people you work with, it's a business transaction. It's a business contract, and you've got to handle it as such. But please know that you are more than your job. You are more than what you do. Have a plan, have an emergency fund. Do not spend more than you need to. Live below your means. We are in strange times. That isn't beside me losing the job, just general messaging. Protect yourselves, treat yourself as a business, and always be looking for better opportunities because companies would do the same, and they are.
Best of luck in your search and whatever you endeavor is destined to be next for you.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. Okay, cool. Well, thank you again for your time this afternoon, and I hope you have a great weekend, Jasmine.
Thank you. You too.
We may be able to integrate you back into your previous role, but this will be contingent on business conditions, and, stuff like that. So,
All right.
I'm sorry, Angela.
What about the bereavement time?
You're getting paid on that.
Okay.
That is going to be taken care of already. So.
Okay. Is there anything else that I need to do on my end then?
Are you considering the sales position, or
I have to
for
talk with
Cutler?
my Cutler. I'd have to talk with my husband.
So I can give you up until the end of today to consider. So if you want to touch base with me by 5:30.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll let you know.
Okay. Sorry, Angela. I'll be here for you.
Okay.
Okay. Bye-bye.
Wow. All right, y'all. Hold on. Oh, I look like a hot mess. Hold on. Okay, just so I look a little more composed. So, wow, my glasses are starting to fog up because I was crying. My job just laid me off. I guess what's crazy about this is I just came from bereavement leave. My grandmother had passed away last week. Oh, gosh. Okay. And it was a little rough, but, you know, we got through it. She lived a great life. And then I come back here Monday morning for work, and I get a sudden meeting from my boss, not expecting this at all. And they tell me that due to the recent economic downturns, they're laying me off. In all fairness, I was one of the higher paid HR people on our TA team. And yeah, that's what they chose to do. So now, I got to figure out something else. You know, I'm not making this video to retaliate, because you know what? I thank God for whatever opportunity is coming next. Everything's going to work out. And I'm grateful for the time that I had at this past employer, now past. I'm grateful for a lot of the things I got to learn, a lot of the things I got to do. And I know now that the Lord is working on my behalf. And yeah, as much as it kind of sucks, I'm excited. So for those of you who have gone through this or are presently going through this, I'm here to support you, and, you know, to God be the glory, whatever happens. I'll keep you posted on this journey.
UPS is looking to slash about 20,000 jobs and close dozens of facilities. It's cutting down on the number of Amazon packages it delivers. The company plans to make the job cuts this year. UPS anticipates closing 73 buildings by the end of June. It may close even more facilities later. In January, UPS announced a deal with Amazon, its biggest customer, to lower its delivery volume by more than 50% by the second half of next year.
It didn't really hit me until now, because my coworkers started messaging me. I lost my appetite after that. I still haven't had a call with my manager yet, but my biggest takeaway is don't let your job work you. What's even more messed up is they laid me off right before rewards and bonus season. And also, they're deducting my severance pay from like 2 weeks or something, so I'm really not even getting that much severance. And yes, I work at a big tech company. You can probably guess where I got laid off from. Also, they laid me off at the beginning of my vacation as I took off, so I have my severance package, but I can't receive it until I return the laptop, the corporate card, that stuff. But how am I supposed to do that? And I lose access to any work-related information this week. And I'm not in New York. Corporate America really gives zero shits about you. They worked me to the bones for a high-value client and then just got rid of me. So, yeah,
company-wide layoffs that were happening where WPP is trying to consolidate a lot of their media agency silos. So like we knew that there was going to be layoffs happening and the client is under review. So yeah, I had a feeling my job was going to get cut, and unfortunately it did, and I just moved here to New York City. I mean, I expected it.
So I got laid off on Thursday. Today's Monday, and I have a lot of thoughts, so let's talk about it. For reference, I'm 28 years old. I've been working in corporate America for, 8 years. I graduated college in 2018, and this is my second, technically third time getting laid off if you include a furlough from COVID. I was not expecting it at all. I was pretty blindsided, but I am super, super thankful for this layoff versus my last one, and let me explain to you why. The last time I got laid off, I was 24 years old, and I had just purchased my condo. So my first piece of property, the only piece of property I own, I used most of my savings to purchase it. It's truly my biggest accomplishment. And 2 months later, I had no employment. I vowed to myself from that moment on, I would never let myself feel so scared and so helpless ever again, because I truly wasn't sure what I was going to do. I was like, I think I'm going to be on food stamps. And my parents, just for a backstory, I had no assistance getting my house. My parents sent me dish towels as a thank you present. I 100% did this on my own. So it was 100% my responsibility to figure out what I'm going to do. With that being said, I then met my now fiance a year and a half later, and I live in his house, and we rent out my property still. So we do make a little bit of rental income. I also teach Pilates, and I own my own Pilates grip socks business. And I have done this weekend what is called redistributing my calories, now knowing one of my sources of income will be diminished. So I guess my biggest piece of advice here for women, because that's who I'm really talking to, but truly anyone, is do not put all of your eggs in one basket. I don't care if you have the best corporate job in the world. I don't care if you think you have the job security. I used to tell people that this was the job I was retiring to, and I absolutely got blindsided by this. But I do not have to worry about how I'm going to put food on the table or what I'm going to do when I wake up tomorrow, because I have 2 other sources of income, 3 if you count my rental, 3 other sources of income, but 2 other businesses, teaching Pilates and owning my Pilates sub company, that I can now put more of my calories in and redistribute while looking for more full-time work. I am not saying quit your job and going all in on being an entrepreneur. If that suits you, great. But I love corporate America. I've always loved the stability of it, but do not put all of your eggs in one basket. I don't care if it's a hobby, an interest, something you might kind of be interested in. Dive into it, explore it, and figure out how to monetize it, because truly, you never know when you're going to get a random meeting on your calendar that you're going to get laid off. I'm not trying to fearmonger. I'm just being realistic. And it's really important just for your character development and as a person to have a multifaceted personality, to be able to have hobbies that I've been able to monetize and take as something outside of work. I love teaching because I work from home and it gets me out of the house, but I also know I can kind of flow in and flow out of it as much as I want, depending on what I need in my life. So truly, if you have not already, especially everybody, but really women, because that's who I'm talking to, find something you're minorly interested in. It does not have to be the fire that's lit under your ass. It doesn't have to be your be-all, end-all passion project. You don't have to be obsessed with it every day. You're not going to be obsessed with anything every single day. But you need to find something that you can lean into and just figure out additionally, how you could monetize that, what you can grow from it. It doesn't have to be your own business. It could literally be a side hustle, but truly find a side hustle, find something else. So in case you ever need to, you can diversify those calories, because you never, ever, ever know when you're going to need to lean into it.
The thing I need y'all to remember is that when your company decides to lay you off, in most cases, you're not going to have any notice, and they're just going to cut you out of all of their systems, like what happened to this gentleman. Now he's scrambling. He's trying to get a hold of his different contacts that could be helpful for him in his next job search, but that's a lot harder when you don't have access to any of your accounts, and the company owes you nothing. And I've given this advice before, because the same is true for any projects you've worked on, any work samples. All of that is gone the second they cut you out of the system. So let me give you a couple of tips so if you find yourself unexpectedly out of work, you're prepared for that. 1, make sure that you are maintaining contacts, people that would be helpful to you in the future. You need to have their contact information somewhere else. You can do that by forwarding the emails to another email account. You can get a CRM. I use this one called Dex. You can write them down in Excel, you can make an address book, make a little Rolodex, whatever, but you do want to keep up with your contacts from each of your jobs. Second tip I'm going to give you is you need to be saving those work samples. Again, you can email them to yourselves, you can copy and paste the relevant portions and put them into a personal Google Drive, but you want to have access to some of the things because in the future employers are going to ask you to see work products as part of the interview process. And so you want to have things that you can point to. And the third thing I'll say is like when you get praise at work, you get shout outs, screenshot those things, save those things because these are things that you can reference in the future. When they ask you for an example of what people you work with say about you, you've got a long list of things because you've been saving those. If you need an introduction to a job that you're interested in, these are the people who have been fans of yours are the people you can go to and say, hey, can you intro me for this opportunity? These are examples you can pull from for interviews when you're in behavioral interviews and they want to hear about times that you've like solved problems or things like that. So like start a brag book, keep up with it, and do this before you need it.
너 왜 울어? 문제 있어? 무슨 문제가 있어? 엄마한테 말해.
I need to tell my mom that I got laid off. This is not going to be an easy call. We're going to just FaceTime her from my phone.
여보시오.
뭐해?
가게에서 일하지?
오늘 가게 일하는 날이구나.
어쩐 일로 전화를 했어요?
아이, 전화한 지 오래됐잖아, 우리가.
그래서 잘 지내고 있나요?
잘 지내고 있지.
왜 그러지? 너 왜 울어? 문제 있어? 무슨 문제가 있어? 엄마한테 말해.
진짜 엄마한테 하고 싶은 말이 아니었어, 이게. 근데 오늘 회사에서 정리해고 당했어.
아이고.
생활비도 어떻게 지낼까? 엄마는 맨날 나만 걱정하잖아. 그래서 더 걱정시키고 싶지 않아, 나는.
아니, 괜찮아.
그래서 말 안 하려고 했는데
말
내가
안 하면 안 되지. 말 해야 돼.
그러니까 엄마니까 그래도
그렇지.
엄마한테는 말하고 싶었고.
울지 마. 할 수 있어. 할 수 있어. 너 혼자 찾을 수 있어. 걱정하지 마. 괜찮아. 울지 마. 그리고 그 레이벌 디파트먼트에 가가지고 엄마하고 아빠는 걱정해 본 적이 없어. 다 너 잘할 거라고 생각했어. 괜찮아.
고마워. 엄마가 그렇게 말해줘서 너무 고마워.
너도 더 좋은 잡을 찾을 수 있어. 걱정하지 마.
계속 열심히 하고 있었지만 지금부터 이제 더 열심히 하고 내 자리를 찾을 거야.
사람들은 그런 일 한 번씩 다 당해. 이게 나를 좀 더 스트롱하게 하는 그런 거야. 그러니까 절대 실망하지 말고 더 좋은 이 기회가 너를 더 좋은 잡을 찾을 수 있게 하는 그 기회일 수도 있어. 필요하면 언제든지 엄마한테 말해. 필요한 거 있으면. 오케이? 부족했던 잠도 자고 어디 이제 그 어디냐 그 도서관 앞에 지금 꽃들도 막 필 때잖아. 꽃 구경도 가. 그 튤립 필 때잖아.
미안해 엄마.
파이팅. I love you. 힘내.
So UPS announced yesterday they were going to lay off 20,000 workers before the end of this year. Here's everything I do as quickly as possible. So first off, they actually made an announcement earlier this year that they were planning on closing 10% of the facilities by 2028. This was due to restructuring the company, getting rid of Amazon. This was an announcement. However, yesterday's announcement's a little different. So the company's citing two reasons, according to their earnings call that happened recently. One of them being they're getting rid of 10% of their Amazon volume, and the other one is massive disruptions in the supply chain. Again, I've said this plenty of times, guys, but if you want to know the future of transportation, look to the longshoremen, because what do we deliver? Commodities, trinkets, toys, goods, all of that stuff. Guess where it comes from? I think you know. She also said that while Amazon is the largest customer, it's not that profitable. So let's talk about those numbers. So total, Amazon accounted for 20 to 25% of the total volume of UPS. Now, however, they were only about 12% of UPS's total revenue, okay, which was about $10.7 billion. So basically they announced the layoffs. They also said that because all of the uncertainty in the market, they have stopped with their predictions, and this triggered a response from the workers, because obviously 20,000 workers getting pulled, that's 20,000 livelihoods that directly affects the union. Union President Sean O'Brien had this to say: UPS is obligated to create 30,000 Teamster jobs under our current national agreement. If the company makes any attempt to violate our contract, UPS will be in for a hell of a fight. Yes, so there was an agreement in the contract that we were supposed to get new jobs by bringing in more volume from the post office, etc. What kind of fight? When the fight will take place, I don't know. We will wait and see further responses from the union as this thing plays out. That's it for now. There's a lot more I want to say about automation, technology, and Amazon in particular, but I'll save it for the comments and the caption. So let me know what you think. Thanks.
So I think I'm being laid off from my job today. If you couldn't tell by my appearance, I have been crying all morning. I haven't even had my meeting yet. But I got a calendar meeting today from someone I've never spoken to at the company, and a bunch of other people did too. So I am recording this because I feel like a lot of people can probably find comfort in knowing they're not alone. So we will see. Maybe it'll be something positive. Maybe I'm not getting laid off, but I am shaking.
That does impact your position. Today is going to be your last day.
I've loved my time here and I'm very thankful for it, so I appreciate it. I did not think that that would be my last day. My laptop's not even working anymore for me to like save things. Like,